the mood amongst the group for what's an unusual road trip? It's not a really long one, but it is still an unusual one.
No, we're looking forward to it. You know, we've been in Brisbane for the last 3 or 4 months, so I think a change of scenery will be good for us. You know, we're treating tomorrow night's game really like an interstate trip sort of game, travelling down the day before and preparing in the normal way, and then we'll get to experience a bit of hub life after that, which is not too different to what we've been living in any case. So,
what have you learned from watching, you know, the South Australian and the Western Australian teams go through it? Is it about embracing the challenge?
Well, I think whether I watch those guys or not, it's always about embracing the challenge. I wasn't in the hubs with them, so I don't know how they actually handled it, and I don't know, and I haven't spoken to anyone from those clubs. So we'll just find our own pathway. We'll embrace all the challenges that are there and enjoy each other's company.
How long have you packed for? Because you don't, like, it may be longer than the 2 weeks, might it?
We just know we've got 2 games at the moment. There could be another one. I do know that we have to stay down there for 14 or 15 days because we're playing Geelong and they're from a Melbourne-based team. We're going to be at least there for 14 days afterwards, and so that means that we'll either stay in Sydney and play again, or we'll come back here late that week and play up here. But we don't know, so we'll just wait and see on that. We'll just handle whatever comes our way.
So it doesn't look like it phases you either way?
No, not really, because I think, you know, that's what you've got to do, accept what's happening and just roll with the punches.
Besides your kit, what was the first thing you packed?
I can't even remember yesterday, mate. I don't have a particular order of things. Just probably make sure I've got plenty of jocks packed for a long stay, mate.
You haven't got a surfboard or a puzzle?
No.
Or something? I mean, just
No. I might put a few books in, but I won't be taking a surfboard or any golf clubs or anything.
One of the toughest things, I think, is the 5-day turnaround. How are you approaching that?
Well, you can't train much, obviously, and 5-day turnarounds are quite unusual. You don't do them all that often, but you know, it's a similar turnaround for Geelong. They played on Saturday, we played on Saturday. We're both travelling. It's equal for both teams tomorrow night.
One of the things that's the problems going at the moment is that there's restrictions with the Victorian border and the number of games and how long they've told Victorian teams that they're going to be away for isn't matching up, and there's a suggestion that maybe they might have to cram 5 weeks of games into 4 weeks. Is that something that the players would embrace? You'd have a lot of 5 and 6 day turnarounds to try and get an extra game in so that there's a bye somewhere in the season?
I think so. I mean, during the break in from round 1 to round 2, you know, lots of things were talked about, like hubs, like compressed rosters. So during that 10 weeks or so that we didn't play, I think all clubs have done a fair bit of research on hubs and on playing on shortened turnarounds. I mean, you know, I had a good chat to Phil Smythe, who's obviously a basketballer of high note within Australia and also a coach. And basketballers play on short turnarounds all the time. So I've chatted to him about how you go about that. It's just your preparation's a little bit different. You're more in recovery mode. So we're ready for whatever comes our way.
What did he say? What was his most valuable tip to you?
Keep that to myself. Maybe some other clubs don't know it, so it might be a competitive advantage.
Geelong, obviously a great team. You know, what's the biggest issue? What's the biggest thing that you need to overcome to get a win against the Kings?
Well, everything they do, their system's really good. They've got an amazing array of experienced players. I mean, if you look at their midfield, Ablett, Selwood, Dangerfield, you'd probably say at the end of their careers they're all going to be Hall of Famers. You know, their form's been strong, and they always, you know, under Chris Scott, they've been tremendously competitive. They win a lot of games of football, so we know it's going to be a big test tomorrow night. We're looking forward to that challenge. I'm sure they are as well, but we've got a lot of respect for Geelong. They're a club that we look up to and want to be like.
Those three are their experienced leagues, their veteran leagues. You've got young leagues in the midfield. Does that give you an advantage on a tight turnaround?
Oh, it's hard to know because we haven't really seen that. I can't predict which way that'll go, but I do know one thing is that the sports science available at every footy club is very, very good, and they do a great job at recovering players of all ages. So I'm just assuming that those guys, will be, all of them, and our older guys as well, will be fit and ready to go and have plenty of run in their legs.
Speaking of that, Zorks, is he right to go?
Yeah, he is. He's had a good training block over the last week, and yeah, he'll be selected in the team.
With those short turnarounds, if there are more, would you need to maybe calves and Achilles and that sort of stuff are finicky injuries? Would you maybe have to take some, not the opposite of taking some risks, like be cautious with him over the next month?
Oh no, that all depends on how he pulls up from games. The problem that he had is fixed. As I said last week, it was a plantaris problem, and that fully ruptured, so the problem's gone. So no, we'll just, like all of our players, monitor his progress and make sure that, you know, every week when we play, if it becomes compressed, that we put out 22 players that are the best ready to go.
Like in terms of the squad, how many guys are you taking down there?
Yeah, so we're taking 27, but we do have the capacity to call others in if we need to. The other boys are staying up here having practice games against West Coast and Gold Coast, so we think it's pretty important that they get the match practice. We're not sure whether we're going to be down in Sydney for 2 or 3 games, and we're hopeful that 27 is enough to get us through that period. So that's what we've opted to do. Want our blokes that aren't playing to be playing games of playing scratch matches against other teams. That's our priority.
There is some chance Gary Ablett may not play.
Is there?
Would that be helpful?
Oh, I'm expecting him to play, so yeah, not for me to concern myself with.
That doesn't change. If he doesn't, does it change?
Geelong won't change the way they play. They've got a really strong system, so they'll just bring in another guy that plays a similar role, and he'll no doubt be a really good player.
Hodgie said on the radio yesterday that Harris Andrews is the best defender he's ever played with. Have you had a complaint from Josh Gibson about that sort of pumping up a young bloke?
No, but I'm surprised I haven't, and I'm surprised Brian Lake hasn't called as well. But it's nice of Hodgie to say that. Harris is a really improved player, but you know, he's got some big challenges ahead tomorrow night. He'll spend some time on Hawkins, who's a very, very good player. So there's challenges every week.
He was so instrumental in shutting down with Charlie. He's got to back that. I know he can, but he's got to back it up.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, that he did play a good game, but his teammates up the field helped him, and the pressure on the ball coming in was really, really good. So that made Harris's job a lot easier, and you know, there's got to be a continuation of that tomorrow night. It can't just be left to Harris versus Hawkins and easy ball coming in. It's pretty tough to defend.
Chris Scott paid you the ultimate compliment yesterday. He said there's no bigger challenge in football right now than taking on Brisbane.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, we know we've played 5 games this year. Who knows who the best teams are? I know that, you know, we're getting talked up this week because we beat Port Adelaide, or getting talked up last week. So that's how it rolls in footy. We just try and keep level heads and play our best each time we go out there. And I'm sure the mantle of the best team in the competition will get handed over to a few different teams as we progress through the season.
Has there been any emphasis on kicking straight? Been a little wasteful the last few weeks in front of goal?
Yeah, we talk about it and we practice. You got to understand though, under the current protocols, we don't have that many opportunities to train. So you know, we get a little bit of opportunity, but we can't go overboard with it. You know, our kicking last week was better than it was the week before. But we didn't kick 10-23 last week, so it was, what was it, 12-13 or something like that. So that's improvement.
On Phil Smythe again, have you known for like a while, have you?
Yeah, Phil was doing some consulting work with us last year, and working with our coaches and our players, and he would have been doing the same thing this year, but COVID situations come along and a lot of people have been stood down, so we haven't been able to have those nice little extras, and still chat to him on the phone on a regular basis. He's been really helpful to us.
How'd that relationship feel? Do you know anything?
Just a mutual friend in Adelaide that suggested it would be a good idea, and we sort of explored it.
With the SCG being a bit smaller, will that suit like, you know, you guys compared to the Cats?
I don't know. It's hard to know that. Their ground is a bit of a different shape to what the SCG is. The Gabba's similar to the SCG, I guess. with a cricket wicket in the middle. But oh, look, they're a very experienced side. Geelong, they've played at a lot of different venues, their guys, over the years. They've had some great wins at the SCG. No, I think they'll handle the ground equally as well as what we will.
Is there anyone that hasn't sort of come up in the 5 days? I mean, we haven't asked you, I know you haven't seen much.
I'm not that I'm aware of. We don't play until tomorrow night, and you know, if someone's feeling a little bit sore, we're about to have a training session now, so we might find out a little bit more from that training session. But at the moment, the expectation is that no, there won't be anyone that won't come up that played last week, other than Cam Ellis-Yolman, who's got an injury.
A bit sad for the young fella who did his knee.
Yeah, Connor McFadden. He's one of our blokes that we got a lot of hopes for going forward. So that's a bit of a blow for him, and disappointing just to do it in a fairly innocuous way in a training session. But he's having surgery, I think, on Friday, and he's had his surgery yesterday, and there was a good outcome. It was a pretty straightforward ACL with no other damage. Hopefully he'll make a good recovery and use this period of time to turn himself into a better player.
And you're concerned about Marcus Adams keeps getting injured with his foot?
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a worry. I thought we'd have Marcus playing by now, but these things happen, and he's in good hands, so he'll play when he's ready.